He thought he had landed a wealthy woman worth millions of dollars. What he didn't know was that from the very first message they exchanged online, he had already walked straight into a revenge trap 70 years in the making. It turned out that when he was just a 16-year-old boy working as the girl's private English tutor, he had not only bullied her but also reported her father for treason. Her entire family was destroyed, leaving her all alone. With the help of a private investigator, she finally tracked him down 6 decades later. So she posed as a rich woman to catch his attention. That day, to convince Amy to invest, Jack took money he had scammed from someone else and passed it off as returns from his own investment. Seeing such impressive profits, Amy was genuinely tempted this time. But just as she was about to take the plunge, her grandson suddenly came home. Jimmy had never liked Jack, and now he was certain the man was a con artist. His harsh words embarrassed Amy so much she nearly burst into tears. Sensing the tension, the accomplice quickly excused himself. Jack split the so-called $20,000 investment return in half. One part went to the grandson, and the other would fund a trip abroad with Amy. His gesture put Jimmy's suspicions to rest. The next day, Jack and Amy went shopping together for travel supplies and clothes. But while they were browsing, Jack suddenly noticed someone tailing him. He made up an excuse about having something urgent to take care of and arranged to meet Amy at a restaurant in an hour. Then he headed straight into the subway station, casually adjusting a security camera along the way. He walked to a deserted spot at the end of a corridor. When he finally got a good look at his stalker's face, he realized it was an investor he had previously scammed. The man, Bryn, threatened Jack. Either return the money he had stolen, or Bryn would expose him to Amy. Jack pretended to calm him down. The moment Bryn let his guard down, Jack struck him with his umbrella, knocking him to the ground. Just as a train pulled into the station, he shoved Bryn onto the tracks. Afterward, he simply took off his coat and acted like nothing had happened, boarding a flight to Berlin with Amy. This time, however, Amy insisted on bringing her grandson along. Jimmy had a PhD in history, so he naturally took on the role of tour guide. On the first day, he showed them around Berlin's famous landmarks. But the next day, he led them to an old apartment building and asked Jack if the place looked familiar. It turned out that during his time away, Jimmy had done some digging. He discovered that Jack had not only faked his identity, but also had a criminal record. Cornered by Jimmy's questions, Jack had no choice but to come clean. He revealed that he had been an orphan his whole life, surviving entirely on his own wits. He had taught himself English as a young boy and later, just to stay alive, joined the British military as a translator. Hearing his story, Amy didn't blame him for hiding the truth. Instead, she felt even more sympathy for him. She shooed away Jimmy, who was still full of doubts, and declared that she wanted to be with Jack forever. After returning home, Amy brought up the investment idea. The two of them transferred all their assets into a joint account. Each of them had their own security key, allowing either one to log in and manage the account at any time. Once all the funds were in place, Jack pretended to take a phone call. He said his son had come back and was leaving the next day, but wanted to see his father one last time that night. The understanding Amy encouraged Jack to go. So he put on a reluctant act, said his goodbyes, and left. That evening, Jack poured himself a celebratory drink, but when he opened his bag, he realized the security key was gone. His accomplice wasn't answering the phone either. He called the bank, only to be told that any transaction required the security device. Desperate to get his hands on the fortune, he rushed back to Amy's house in the middle of the night. But when he turned on the lights, the place was completely empty.